Welcome back. I'm rolling initiative, and today I'm gonna go and show you some gear progression for level 72 in Season 2. Now, this gear is relatively easy to get to, and wouldn't take too long to actually farm up enough for you and your pawns. All you need is 3 of each: the Ancient Iron Ingots, the Purple Algae Seeds, and just 3 Pottery Charms. Now, depending on which dungeon, the algae seeds are pretty generous, but you might have to do a few runs. Now, we also have this generalist set that you can get from any of the monsters out in the wild in Season 2. From the goblins, or the fairies, the bronze harpy enemy type, we have the dire wolves, and then we have the crocodiles. So while you're farming these sets, make sure to look out for those 4. And you can make everything you need for your armor set while you're farming for all your weapons. The armor set will just come along. The real grind will be the weapon grind. So you need to have area rank 4 for this area to be able to get to the Rainbow Cave. But overall, this is probably the most generous spot for materials. Now right here, you can actually fight direwolves, but since this is nighttime, the enemy spawn is different, so there's ghouls. So if you come back during the day, it's a great time to get some direwolves, but there will be some direwolves in here. So again, it's everything kind of feeds into each other. So, and as we see with a lot of these sets, running these dungeons will allow you to properly gear yourself out while you're doing the main storyline. So, I cut a lot of the fat. I avoid most monsters. I will kill these crocodiles because this is actually a really good place for crocodiles for your armor set. As you can see, crocodile skin. The items that we need from this dungeon for the weapons are going to be from these gathering points, these plant gathering points. And there's quite a few in this dungeon. If you're having issues or you can't really get to the end of this dungeon, you are actually good enough to actually just run up to these nodes, go back to town, reset, and run this again. It just really depends on where you are in the game and what you can handle. If it's you and your friends, you could probably actually tackle a lot of these enemies. You know, it'll be a fight, but, you know, me and my friends, we've actually pushed through this content together, even, you know, with our weapons poorly underleveled. But you can cheese it. You can be a little loot goblin and run through and actually grab a lot of this stuff without actually having to fight. You know, you get to pick and choose your battles. Now, there's 2 more nodes in this area. And again, this is nighttime. Wraiths will be at night, and I think there's an ogre in the daytime. So there's 2 nodes here, and then after you kill the boss, all these regional dungeons will have a 2 chest system where you get regional materials from. So that was part 1. We have 2 more dungeons to complete the weapon. And again, you might only have to run this dungeon once, but the other dungeons, I guarantee you will have to run 2 to 3 times depending on your RNG. So this next area, the ruins, you have to be rank 4 to be able to get to. Again, using the area master to tell you where items are is a godsend, and will save you a lot of time when looking for things. So yes, make sure you have area rank 4 or you will not be able to get into this dungeon. So, a quick run over. This is my least favorite dungeon. The rewards at the end are god-awful. Also, anytime you see fairies, make sure you take them out. Fairy wings are also really good for quest board stuff in this region. So, majority of items in this dungeon you can skip over. I will stop and let you see some of the notable quick loot points, but generally you can skip over this whole entire dungeon and go straight for the big loot chest, which is in this next room with this Medusa. As long as you jump over, run over, and snatch everything. Now, I was having item management, so I couldn't just grab everything. But this is the chest that you need. If you can loot only one chest in this whole entire dungeon, loot that, restart, because finishing the rest of the dungeon is not worth your time. The rest of the loot is god-awful, and I've never seen the rare version of the regional material in the final chest. Maybe I've seen it once, but the drop rate is so low, you're best to go for that one in the corner, and you're good to go. Just reset. But I'll play out the rest of this dungeon just for you to see. As you can see, for all of that, we only have a pot shard on each. So definitely not worth it to go all the way. And again, I've run this like 10 times. It's always been abysmal. So unless the drops change for the foreseeable future, just go for that first chest and you're good to go. Now we have the ancient iron ingots. The big drop is at the very end. You have to kill a Pixie King. And again, for this, you only need rank 2 for this region to get to the demon cave. I would say there's about, offhand, there's 4 nodes that you can pick from. There are more nodes inside the cave, but they are a red herring. There's just nothing. You'll never really get any loot that you're actually looking for. So, and the enemy types in this dungeon, I believe, mostly pixies, but there are the bronze harpy types that drop the bronze feathers that you will need for your armor. So, keep an eye out for that. The only other thing you need to look out for is later on there will be a behemoth in a very narrow passage. If you are alone, you can run by it, but if you are with friends, make sure you run together as a group, because you'll kill your friend. I've done it. I've killed my friend running through, and he gets sideswiped and literally falls off the ledge, and you just cannot fight off this behemoth while trying to pick him up, leaving him to his fate. So, yeah, this room, excellent to clear for armor materials, and there's 2 more nodes, and this chest also has iron. Now, this Pixie King, pro tip, if you're fighting with friends, if you knock him down, you can hold him down and deal double the damage. Very useful when you're undergeared, I'll tell you that. So, this is the only place you can get the ingot. And again, if you can get 1 or 2, fantastic. I've seen it drop 2, but most of the time it's only 1. So you might have to run 3, or you might only have to run it twice. And again, I'll be making more guides like this. If you want more, I plan on making more getting into the end game, because right now on the server, currently, not forever, it's double experience, so I will try to push out some content for you guys. If you have any other recommendations, just tell me and I can see what I can do. Until then, later.